Hi, and welcome back to Programming with Pax. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the this keyword in JavaScript. So we'll start by talking about what this is, and then after that, we'll go over a couple different rules for you to keep in mind when you're trying to figure out what this is in different contexts. And then finally, we will go over a couple different code examples, and together we will figure out what this is. I feel like I'm going to be saying this quite a bit in this video, so let's get started. All right, so what is this? The this keyword is a reference to the object that a variable or function belongs to. Simply put, it is the object that owns the code. What that means is that depending on where a variable or function is written, will change what the this keyword is referring to. Now, there are two main rules to remember when trying to figure out what this is. The first is that if it's a standard function written at the root of a JavaScript file, then this is referencing the window object in a browser or the global object in Node. The second rule to keep in mind is that if the function is within an object, in which case the function would be called a method, then this is referring to the object that the method is within. Let's take a look at a few code examples to make better sense of this. All right, so I have VS Code on the left with the rules that we were talking about, and on the right, I have the Chrome console open. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to simply console log this. And if we save, we can see that we get the window object. We get the window object because, as we saw before, if your code is at the root of a JavaScript file, then we're going to get the window object. All right, next, let's look at a function. So I'm going to paste some code in here. So we have a function called whoisThis, and inside of there, we have a console log, and then we are invoking that function. Now, in this example, what do you think this is referring to? Let's save, and we can see again that we get the window object, because this code is written at the root of the file, meaning it's not nested within an object. Beautiful. So up next, we have a method. So again, that's an object, and within the object, we have a function. And functions that are written within objects are called methods. So we have some object, and within inside, we have some method. And then we are console logging this, and right here, we are calling some method. What do you think this console log is going to print out? Let's save, and we can see that we are referencing this some object here. So we have items and some method, which is exactly as we have in here. And I'm sure most of you knew that this was referencing this whole object because we have this rule right here. Now, if I wanted to console log these items, if I put items here and save, I get an uncaught reference error where it says that items is not defined. And that's because it's looking within the scope of this method. It can't look outside and see these items here. In order to do that, we need to use the this keyword. So when we say this.items, we are saying this object and then these items. So if we save, now we can see we get the array of apple, orange, and banana. Another tip for when you're trying to figure out what this is, when you have a function or method that is called, and we know it's being called because of these parentheses, if there is a dot, then the this keyword is referring to the object that is to the left of the dot. So whenever you see a dot, just remember that the this keyword is referring to whatever is to the left of it. All right, finally, we have the constructor function. Now we know it is a constructor because it starts with a capital letter. And think of these constructor functions as blueprints for objects that we can make. So let's do const user1 is equal to new, and we use the new keyword to initialize an object. And then we put person. And if I save, we can see that the this keyword is actually an empty object. So this is the gotcha that I didn't write up here. When you use the new keyword to create an instance of this constructor function, what you're doing is creating an empty object. All right, so in summary, if you have code that is written at the root of a file, then the this keyword is the window object for browsers or global object for Node. If you have a function that's within an object, then the this keyword is the object that the method is in. And finally, if it is a constructor function, then the this keyword is an empty object, unless, of course, you're passing in values, in which case those values would be in there as well. All right, so that covers the this keyword in JavaScript. As always, if you have any questions at all, just let me know in the comments section down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you did find this video helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you just lightly massage that like button, as it really helps this channel out. This video is part of a JavaScript fundamentals series that I'm working on, and it's all of these foundational topics that can sometimes be a little bit trickier to understand, but you definitely need to understand them. So be sure to subscribe for more, and I will leave a link to the playlist in the description down below. As always, thank you very much for your time. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next one.